Hello and welcome back to another edition of Life After Kids with Dr. Brooke and Dr. Lynne. I'm Dr. Brooke.
And I'm Dr. Lynne.
And it is Valentine's Week. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And happy Valentine's Day to you. So we thought we should take some time, it would be appropriate to talk about self-care and self-love. I think at Valentine's Day, we think about our partner, our spouse, and maybe our kids and showing love to them. But, you know, we need to show love to ourselves too.
Absolutely. You can only love somebody to the extent that you love yourself.
That's right. That's so true. And I think especially as moms and women in general, we miss that because we think we just have to give to everybody else. But we don't realize that how we show up for ourselves is how we show up for everybody else. And that's so important.
We can't pour out of an empty vessel.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Right. And most of us have moved beyond little kids, but, you know, I still have, my youngest is in middle school, you know, my oldest is 18. So they're still around and in the house, but, you know, I often tell moms, and I've told them all through my career, that not only can you not pour from an empty cup, like you said, but also, like, our kids, even older kids, learn by watching us more than what we say. Yeah. And so when they see you taking care of yourself, it helps them. Yeah, exactly. So that's important.
Yeah, and I think it's really, you said most of us have older kids, but if you don't develop a ritual of this, if you don't develop habits of this, we get stuck in that hamster wheel of just giving.
Yep.
And, you know, it can carry through from when our kids are little and things are chaotic into those teenage years, unless we really actively take steps to plan practices around it.
That's right. And self-care and self-love is so important to your resiliency and your emotional health, right? It all starts with those types of things. Loving on yourself. And that can be a process. That can be, I don't want to say a process, but something that you take a longer time for. For example, like a 90-minute massage.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can just be a quick, small thing.
Once again, it doesn't have to look just like you think it needs to look. It just needs to be consistent.
That's right. You just need to pick some things. Yep. And if you're super busy and you feel like you can't squeeze another thing in, there's such just simple, quick things that you can do that are effective. Tell us about what's your favorite thing? Yeah,
so I think one of my favorite things that I'm doing right now for self-love is, with it being winter, taking, in the Midwest and it's cold, taking a hot bath. All day, I look forward to it because I know it's a ritual I set up at the end of the night. Everybody's settled away. I don't need to watch another TV show. So I go upstairs, I pour a bath or turn on a bath, add some scented Epsom salts for magnesium, just helping that, soothes aches and soothes the muscles.
Relaxing and
detoxing, especially when you get those scents filling your nostrils in the bathroom. And I also like to pour in some Honest baby, I use baby bubble bath actually.
Oh, yeah. I never knew that.
Yeah. Light a candle. Let's see what else. Just some essential oils. Those are always great. Just build a ritual around it. I might have a cup of tea. Bring over my, stand next to my pool and maybe read a book. Just something to wind down before the end of the night.
I love that. Yeah. Do you typically put on music when you take a bath?
No, I don't, but that would be a good addition. Yeah. I never thought about that.
I love a bath too, and sometimes I like some music going in the background, but then other times it's like, there's been noise all day and I just want like the quiet and to forget about it and usually I like to have a good book, but sometimes I just want like no book, no noise. I just want to chill.
Sometimes for self-love, for me, I invite, without going to a weird place, I invite my husband to come and take a bath with me and we just talk and catch up because it's maybe been all week. And for me, I need that connection time. And we have that ritual that we, spend that time just talking.
I love that. Yeah. That's amazing. Could you see if I asked Kenny to get in the bath with me, he would be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Doesn't work
But
for
I
everybody,
love
maybe.
it though. But I mean, you and Mark have such a special relationship. So you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
that's
too.
awesome. If you don't feel bad if you can't go there, but if you can, that if you that it's awesome.
Yeah, for me, sometimes that's what I'm needing. I'm missing that connection with him.
Sure.
So, piece of that self-love is just reconnecting with him.
Absolutely,
Finding that time.
absolutely. That's great.
How about you?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I equally love a hot bath, and my favorite essential oil to put in it, I would say is because you just mentioned essential oils, cedarwood, because cedarwood is so grounding, and for me, I need to feel that. I need to be centered and grounded, so I do love that. But for me, little things, I think, just quick things through my day that I do daily that I try to pay attention to. Like, I love to take care of my face. And if I can get a facial, that's great, but I honestly, that's not something that I keep up with. I probably should, but I just love face products. I love, I have a rose quartz, it's on a handle, a roller. Yeah. So I know some use jade. I've not used jade, but I have a rose quartz roller. And I use it in the morning and the evening.
Do you keep it in the freezer?
And no.
Yes.
Because so that's what I love about it. At night, even without that, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to the touch. So there's on the one end, it's wider for your face and your forehead. And then on the other end, it's smaller that I'll do under eyes and here, because I should start to sag. But at least I am. I look at myself. I'm I see my grandmother. She had those. Anyway, that's another topic. But I love it because especially when it goes under your eyes, it feels cold.
Or just the fridge. Lila has a mini fridge in her room, and she keeps hers in there, and it's cold.
That would be even better because that's what I love. It just feels so nurturing to me to feel that cool, especially at night. I do it in the morning too, but at night, once I've relaxed and my makeup's off, and
I would think it would help with inflammation too in the morning and just
absolutely if your eyes are a little puffy.
Yeah.
But that is a simple thing, but it does. I feel like I'm taking care of myself, and I feel loved. I can at that time look at myself in the mirror and love myself in the midst of that, and just know that I'm taking good care of myself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And again, that's something I do daily, and it takes me 2 minutes. That's it. That's a no-brainer thing. But
and you can combine it with other things if you needed to. If you really were that pressed with time, like your layering, tip that you've given us.
Yeah, absolutely. You could absolutely, because a lot of times I'm in there in the morning, especially listening to a podcast to start my day.
Yeah.
As I'm doing some of that too.
So we all know that woman who just is the martyr and doesn't take that time because she, on one hand, maybe feels she doesn't have the time, but on the other hand, she gets so much from giving to her family. And she hasn't seen what it means to give to herself and how that could actually elevate her whole game with her family.
Absolutely.
What would you say to her?
To that person that feels like the martyr, I think that you put it beautifully at the start that you can't pour from an empty cup. And here's the thing, you can go like that, but eventually you're going to reach a breaking point and you're going to be no good to anyone.
Health issues, we see things manifesting, right? As other things. That lack of
100%.
attention comes out.
But I will tell you, and this is one thing that I don't struggle with because I can be almost borderline a little bit selfish with my time. My boys know, unless it's an emergency or pertinent, but it's I can do that, but not now because I need some time for myself. Because I know, I have been blessed or cursed, how you want to look at it, with this emotional health stuff. So I know that if I'm not doing that and keeping up, I've had this discussion, I can crack. So it's a non-negotiable for me. But I can tell you that I used to have an issue feeling guilty about that because of my faith. And I can get to this place where I'm love your neighbor, do for others, and you want to be that martyr. So here's something really powerful that somebody once told me in a life group that a good friend of mine, that it was such an awakening for me that allowed me to let go of that guilt. She said, if you're struggling with that, one thing you have to keep in mind that the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. And she said, think about that line, because it's not just love your neighbor. It ends with as yourself. And you don't know how to love your neighbor if you're not loving yourself first. And that, for me, was like, I could almost bring a tear to my eye now, because it gave me permission to put, not necessarily, I don't want to say selfish, to put myself first.
And to let go of the guilt.
But to let go of the guilt of like, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to love yourself.
It's, put on your mask first before you help others, right?
The oxygen mask. So I think that would probably be my message. What does something come to mind for you?
No, I just think it's important to have guardrails around it for your family, to have conversations around it. So I'm sure you've talked with your husband knows, and maybe your boys, I don't know what to extent, would know. Like, mom's not just in there, twiddling her thumb. She's doing work on herself that will actually help her be a better mom, right? Have you had those conversations? And I think that if you're a giver, give your husband that time. Say, honey, go play golf. Kids, I want you to have some downtime. Give to them in that way, and then what you give, you will receive. So that's just a way to kind of use that strategy towards that,
Yeah. And
you might have to gently prod them, but
yes, but that's so good. Like, give them the space to do that too,
on purpose, intentionally.
I do love that.
Yeah.
That's great. So, do we have anything else?
No, I just want to say Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Have a great week. Don't forget to tune in next week and subscribe if you aren't already, so that you're getting this vlog dropped in your inbox once a week. And follow us on social media.
Awesome. For all of our great content there.
Have a great one.
See you soon.